Cannabis Connection in the house.
420 boys in the building.
For the extreme retro review for ECW, February 18th, 1997. For the go-home show of SummerSlam 1997, 57 minutes and 31 seconds for your viewing pleasure if you have the coveted, illustrious, and highly elusive Tape Trader edition of the show. To my podcast journalist and partner in crime who sits right beside me watching the show via the WWE Network, he will give you his thoughts and views as well as the time from that streaming service.
Yes, for all the people who don't want to be bothered with the moving on show, the February 18th, 1997 show of ECW was 47 minutes and 28 seconds. For any long-time listener of the show, you know that ECW has a long-running history that has become a trope for us of having terrible go-home shows. And I can say today that this show does not go into that quality, or into that category, I should say. Instant terrible go-home show status is if I have no idea that a show is coming right after this. So these motherfuckers did let me know CyberSlam was coming. I don't think I can ask for anything more than that. Outside of that, though, I thought it was a pretty good show in and of itself, though.
We start Extreme Retro Review number 252 with Raven in the subway. He's cutting a promo on Tommy Dreamer, who has never beaten him.
Goddamn right.
Putz is just like his washed-up mentor, the living legend Terry Funk.
Yeah, just like him.
Who reminds Raven of his dad. The same dad that beat Raven. He wants to end Terry Funk's career. He wants to end Terry Funk's life.
Yes.
For everything that he has done.
Yes. Come on, Raven. Now we talking?
The beatings, the molestation.
The what?
Yes. Let's stop. Where are we going here?
Talk about out of left field.
Tortured soul. I get it.
Right. Understand.
Spencer's aficionado with the goth shit, I'm with.
Absolutely.
Why are we going here with molestation? Because it's extreme? I mean, I get it. It's extreme championship wrestling and it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But do we really need this when you have 4 fucking challengers for your title?
I mean, that's enough in and of itself. That's going too extreme.
You need a story for every single last one of these fucking people. You have to equate Funk to your dad. Because he touched your Nevermore. He continues on talking about the divorce. The time he never spent with him. But it doesn't matter because he was touching you when he was fucking with you. He around, he touching you, and now you're talking about he ain't never was around.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Giving out mixed messages. Yeah. Sound like a little tease. Yeah. Here's my Nevermore. No, you can't. Yeah. You want some of my Nevermore? I like peaches. Gross.
Oh, man. I hope that's not where he was going with that. Maybe he just was talking about the overall dad experience minus the Nevermore touch.
All the baseball games other kids and dads went to, he never went to. He segues into Tyler Fullington and the Sandman. Raven took Sandman's wife. Thank God. Yeah. He took Sandman's kid and he got his belt back. You'll never get the belt again. And the wife and the kid, they're with the BWO.
Yeah. Like it's nothing, too. That's what tickled me.
Now he segues on to his flunky who wants his own life and wants to leave Raven. Now he's all alone again. If you come back to the nest, almost everything will be forgiven. If you want the belt, come and get it. Because it ain't gonna happen. Quote me, nevermore.
Oh, yeah.
I was fucking with the fact that he was, calling out all his challengers.
Yeah.
But overall, this was shit. Talk to me about the...
Oh, man, I definitely disagree. I love how he tied all 4 of them motherfuckers together and shit. And I gave him bonus points for just being one. continuous story and shit. From Tommy Dreamer up to Stevie Richards and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, he started with Dreamer. Funk's the mentor. Funk reminds him of his dad. Oh, speaking of my dad, I took Sandman's family, who's with the BWO now. Oh, and speaking of BWO, my bitch ass flunky decided he want to do his own thing now and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think I loved every second of that. And shoot, I thought that was that's how you bring four niggas into one promo. And I felt like he put the belt over at the same time as the world champion. And at the end, with the quote, me nevermore and shit, that made it seem like he was extra serious and shit. So I loved it.
Joey hypes CyberSlam 1997 and Barely Legal. Raven beat Dr. Death after 3 Stevie kicks. Joey then recaps the world title picture and Raven's top challengers. He also speaks on Peaches and Tyler, wrapping up the brainwash storyline starting at Hardcore Heaven 1996, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 203.
You're welcome.
Stevie finally stepping away from his man Raven. Tommy never beating the champ, or Funk begging for one last run. Holy crap, they played Raven's clips to his theme forever.
Oh man, I did not get that. Yep, I got Joey recapping, but I did not get the montage.
We have a Raven t-shirt spot. Moving on. CyberSlam at the ECW Arena is February 22nd, featuring Putz and Funk versus Raven and Brian Lee. If Funk wins, he will get a shot at Raven on April 13th. Club ECW re-up for you super virgins, and you can get pay-per-view tickets until March 3rd. Moving on.
Oh shit.
April 12th is a banquet for Terry Funk,
Oh my god.
celebrating his life, his legacy, and his loyalty to Extreme Championship Wrestling.
What loyalty?
On the Hardcore Hotline this week, ECW gears up for war. Eric Bischoff is about to be fired? Why is WCW mentioning ECW wrestlers on WCW television? Is this Vince McMahon impression annoying? Find out why for $1.99 per minute. Fuck that shit. We come back to a Boston street fight. Sandman versus Devon Dudley, with Sign Guy Dudley in his corner.
Who's now here?
The ring announcer subbing in for Geek Ortiz is Megamind before he lost his head. Sandman is taking his sweet ass time, letting his whole goddamn theme song play, and then we cut to a Sabu, Taz, Sandman, and ECW Hazardous to Your Health and ECFNW t-shirt spot. Moving on. They show a recap of the first match between Sandman and Devon Dudley at Crossing the Line again, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 249.
You're welcome.
They highlight the Bubba Ray heel turn, etc., etc. They start with the cane and the chair, and Devon beats the shit out of Sandman to start. He beats him around ringside. Sandman come back shine, puts on Devon's glasses that, if you haven't noticed by now, do not have lenses. It then segues into a ladder match, and this place is hot for Sandman. Ladder suplex, LOL. Devon cuts off. He does some ladder offense. Sandman come back after a missed Devon splash, and from a support beam from the ceiling, drops a leg onto Devon Dudley for the win. TV classic, 4 stars. H-Dub, talk to me about this match.
I'm glad you brought up the finish where Sandman was hanging from the ceiling and shit. Because my first question was, were they wrestling in a party center or something? Because as soon as Sandman came out, I'm like, it looked like they were at
The Kingsman Party Center?
yeah. It looked like they was at USA Skates and shit.
Or that one joint that was a Ken Ferguson joint.
You know what I'm saying? When Sandman went on top of the ladder, this nigga disappeared above the ceiling and shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, as far as the match goes and shit, like, yeah, I don't know if I would give it fucking 4 stars and shit, but I was expecting it to be run of the mill, them beat the fuck out of each other sort of match and shit, but yeah, I actually kind of got into it and shit, so that was a good match.
Couple notes. During the match, Joey noted that Sandman left his vacation early to work this show. How admirable.
Yeah, that's nice.
And there was a crawler featuring that Francine might not wrestle at CyberSlam due to medical reasons, so they added another tag match.
Oh, shit.
Post-match, Joe Gertner waddles his way into the ring. He gets caned, but it was a distraction for Bubba Ray Dudley. Hack does good for a little while, but falls to 3D. I bumped it to 4 1/4.
I too marked out for the 3D.
We have Club ECW tickets and a re-up for you super clitoris clueless.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, shit.
Can't even finish. Yeah. February 22nd is CyberSlam 1997 at the ECW Arena. February 28th is Mountaintop Madness 1997. And all this is set to Shamrocks and Shenanigans by House of Pain. It's completely awful. Moving on.
Yeah, and take a shot.
Joey throws it to a pre-tape of 3 members of the upcoming 6-man tag match at the pay-per-view on April 13th.
Why are they bringing in these Japs for the first pay-per-view?
From Michinoku Pro Wrestling, the Great Sasuke, Grand Naniwa, and Grand Hamada. They cut a promo in Japanese. It sounds like Wu-Tang. Then they translate themselves in English. I think ECW is #1 promotion in USA.
No, you don't.
Michinoku Pro Wrestling is #1 in Japan. We're gonna get over the whole world. And then it cuts to a montage of the 6 guys doing the match that you're gonna see at Barely Legal. And they're doing it from ECW spot shows that you haven't seen on ECW Hardcore Television. It's set to Jesus Built My Hot Rod by Ministry. It sounds like generic speed metal, thrash metal, death metal schlock with shaky cam plus effects. I was high as shit when I wrote this, so I wrote, I was into this.
Yeah.
Talk to me if you saw the montage.
I did see the montage, but it didn't have the freaky music that you was listening to. I saw my boy Taka and shit. Is Taka going to be at Barely Legal?
Taka will be at Barely Legal.
Okay.
And he will be in a faction. We have a Club ECW re-up for those of you who are oblivious to ovulation.
Well, nice alliterations there. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to give you your alliteration props on the last one.
On April 12th, we have the Terry Funk Banquet. Mountaintop Madness on February 27th. A March 1st, 1997 show in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And a Paul E. Heyman ECW hype spot. Moving on.
Ooh, speaking of moving on, this Mysterio is talking to me.
Last week on ECW television, Lance Storm debuted and beat Balls Mahoney. This was from Crossing the Line Again. Recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 249.
You're welcome.
And at CyberSlam, Lance Storm will face the human suplex machine, Taz.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
We have a match featuring Taz versus Scotty Too Hottie. ECW alum Scott Taylor. Extended squidage. Thank God. Thank God. Scott's tights are completely awful.
Oh, yes.
He actually gets a lot of offense in,
He did.
but jobs to the Kataha Jame. I gave it 2. Talk to me, hot stuff, about this match.
Oh man, shoot! You nailed all the key points. I was surprised that Taz let Scotty look as good as he did. You know what I'm saying? Like he was getting some little bit of shine in, but as most of Taz's matches in, motherfucking T-Bone Tazplex. Kata Hajime, Scotty taps out, and he's rolling on the Cyber Slam. So, for as squashes go, it's pretty good.
Joey then recaps the win and some of the pay-per-view card, and then throws it to some other Japs for a promo. Japs start talking, but then the BWO come in and have them join to officially form BWO Japan.
Yo, just real quick, why were they booed up like they were on a triple date?
Had niggas arms around each other. We have an ECW home video spot for Crossing the Line again, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 249.
You're welcome.
We have bumpers for February 28th, March 1st in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and March 8th. Moving on. Back with Joey at the Nest talking about some footage with Todd Gordon. He also shields the pay-per-view and the club ECW re-up for you failures to reach the fallopian tube. We come back to the Elks Lodge CyberSlam 1997 spot on February 21st. The Sabu signature t-shirt, the Hardcore Cafe t-shirt, the February 22nd show on the ECW Arena, the BWO t-shirt, the Club ECW re-up for you super virgins, the Barely Legal spot, and another funk banquet. Moving on. We move on to a franchise and Francine promo. Terry Funk says, only one belt is worthy enough to be around his waist, but the 16 pounds that he carries says that he's the best on television. You do it your way, the ECW way, the franchise will do it his way. And he gets a kiss, and he does it so well. And this starts Promo Brahma.
With 3 niggas.
The Undead Bulldozer and Real American Badass Brian Lee says that he's only in it for the money. We come back with Shane and Franny. Cut Candido talks about Sabu's history and cuts a promo on Sabu. Then we go to a fan cam shot. Taz jumps RVD in the ring after a win. Sabu with a run-in. They do a stare down. The refs all go down. The geeks do the pull apart. RVD wants a piece of Taz. He gets pulled apart. Now there's a 3-way pull apart. Taz walks out with the eliminators. Sabu topes over the top rope. Taz sidesteps and Sabu crashes into the eliminators. What a goof. H-Dub, talk to me of the ending segment.
Oh man, I don't know, because maybe this is nitpicky on my part as far as the whole pull apart began and shit, because it started off with the eliminators holding back Taz, and to me that didn't make sense. Why they would hold back Taz from coming at Sabu, and then in the meantime it took a nice little minute for the geeks to even hit the ring and shit. So I'm like, there was like ample time for Sabu didn't jump Taz and shit. Now why do all of a sudden he need half the locker room to hold him back? So psychology wise, I was picking it apart a little bit and shit. Pull aparts always look cool on TV to me and shit. If the production value is good, that was kind of hard to see in that bowling alley and shit. But you know, I guess overall it served its purpose, even if the execution was flawed, in my opinion.
Overall, Crossing the Line again, clip show, almost entering Trail of Clips territory. But we got the go home show for CyberSlam 1997. In a few days, strap yourself in to the cross-dimensional, gravitational positron, because we will be going to the Elks Lounge and back to the ECW Arena for night 1 and night 2 of CyberSlam 1997. But until then, always know life is a work, so make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.
Peace.